Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com. Welcome in, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PA.
A2DRadio.com, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios, like we are every Wednesday night. And every Wednesday night we are brought to you by our certified public accountant. Make him yours, Gibson Mayer, LLC. Find him on the web, GibsonMayer.com. Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milwakovic, Rob Povey on the ones and twos. We'll talk later on in the show. Eagles prepare for preseason game number 3. You know, that's it. That's the show party. That's when it's all guys are going to play 3 quarters, your starters. It's really your show game for the start of your season. We'll get into that later on in the show. J.P. Crawford started playing third base at Lehigh Valley.
Fourth consecutive start at third base
Fourth
tonight.
consecutive. There's been some talks up at the higher level. Galvis maybe going to third if he does come up, depending on how that goes. Cavs, Celtics trade. Kyrie, Isaiah Thomas. We'll talk about how that affects both teams. And when's the last time you've seen a trade between the two teams that were 1-2 in the East and in the Eastern Conference Finals? Interesting. But the main topic at hand, it is fight week. And we're going to be talking McGregor, Mayweather, but our poll question brought to you by Scanzano Sports Center. Find them on the web, scanzanosports.com.
Tommy, before we get into that, I hate to interrupt you, but just a development out of Pittsburgh. Dodgers left-hander Rich Hill lost the perfect game, but he still has a no-hitter through 9 with 10 strikeouts. They're going extra innings in a 0-0 game out in Pittsburgh.
Rich Hill. Dealing.
Wow.
Look at Rich. Look at Richard.
Even the sun shines on a dog's ass every now and then.
Dickey.
And I know how this poll question's going to go. All right. Who's going to win the money fight?
I don't know. We see how it's
Money
going.
May,
We see how it's going in Vegas.
or McGregor. And like we talked about, we definitely see how it's going in Vegas. Yeah. It's been going lower and lower and lower and lower. But before we get into Vegas, which is a phenomenal place, but before we get into Vegas, let's just go right off the bat. Who's going to win the fight? And I think we know the answer because we've talked about it, for a few weeks leading up to it. But the final answer is the final answer. You don't get another one. You don't get a retake from this one. Everything that you've seen happen leading up to the fight, the more information you have received. Who's going to win the fight? Mr. Mataraki?
I'm going with Floyd Mayweather, but I think it's going to be the typical Floyd Mayweather fight as opposed to what he's putting out there to everyone. He's saying that this is going to be his last fight, and he's going to have to take the fight to McGregor. So he's going to be aggressive, and he's going to come out fighting. And I don't see it that way at all. I see it being a typical McGregor fight where it's a lot of dancing, a lot of defense. He'll pick and choose his spots. He'll get his shots in, and he'll win the fight. But if it turns out the way I think it turns out, it goes the distance.
Ooh.
I don't see that happening.
Good. Good. I like it.
Mayweather is winning the fight. And I see it as it is his last fight. I think it's the opposite of exactly what you said.
So you think he's going to do what he says he's going to do?
It's his last fight, and the 8-ounce gloves is a huge thing.
Right.
Right? It puts it a little bit more closer, obviously, to the MMA world of the 4-ounce than it does the boxing, the 10-12 traditionally. Mayweather broke his hand a while back, and his last few fights, he's been more dancey because he didn't want to break his hand. This is truly his last fight. He is going to be 50-0 after this. There's no more. There's no 51. It's 50.
No.
Right? So he's coming out, and if he comes out to take the fight to McGregor, it's less than 6 rounds.
Ooh, that's bold. I like it.
Because
so you think he's going to come out and take the fight?
Yes.
To him? You think Floyd's going to come out for the first time in, let's say, 40 fights,
yes,
and come out and take it to the other guy?
Yes, because I don't think because in Floyd's mind, McGregor can't touch him.
Okay,
and
but
McGregor
that's the same Floyd Mayweather that's come out and said that he's not as good of a fighter as he was. Gave credit to McGregor at one point and almost made a case that he can win this fight. Yeah. That's not the Floyd Mayweather we know.
But that's not Money Mayweather.
I understand. But that's the first time in 49 goddamn fights that he's not had the bravado saying I'm not losing. It's the first time he's left a window of opportunity even there. Yeah. It's the first time he's ever given it. But all that being said, Floyd wins the fight. Yes. But, go ahead. Finish.
No, I was just – Conor in his MMA game, except for certain fights, has been more of the traditional counterpuncher. So if he sits back and Floyd sits back, we're in for a boring show.
Well, yeah.
So someone's got to bring the fight. And I think Floyd has more trust in his defense because that's what he is. He is a defensive fighter to bring the fight to Conor and allow for something to happen.
Okay, but if you're looking from Conor McGregor's corner,
I know where you're going, and I'm on that page.
I'm attack mode. Mm-hmm. I'm attack mode, and I'm swinging, but he's going to make you miss a lot, and if he makes you miss and gets you, that's where a knockout could come.
See, I'm
that's where it comes. But McGregor's got to be on the offensive. He can't be on the defensive. And
I'm thinking it because this is not necessarily McGregor's world. If the two of them don't take the fight to each other immediately, I could very easily see McGregor being the aggressor simply because he's gonna have to knock Floyd out to win. you're not going to get a decision that goes to McGregor. Agree? I mean, do we agree?
I agree.
Okay, so
because in order for that, he'd have to win multiple rounds,
and that's that's not going to happen.
Going to happen. Yeah.
So I could very easily see Conor being almost overly aggressive, and Tommy, to your point, Floyd's natural instinct to take over and be that defensive fighter, stick and move, stick and move. Move, stick and move.
Yeah, I mean, what have guys been accustomed to? Both have been accustomed to their style of fighting. And to your point, I think McGregor's a guy who's going to be on the offensive more than he is a defensive guy.
Here's
he's always been. Listen, it's your mental makeup.
Right.
I mean, how do you change that kind of behavior for so long? I mean, repetition to being on the defensive?
Sure.
No, because anytime we've seen him in the ring, he's looked like a guy who's on the offensive, good, bad, or indifferent. I don't believe. Listen, if he would have started training for boxing 8 years ago, stud, okay? But it's tough to jump right into
it. And the thing is I think Conor understands that in order for him to go anywhere in this fight, distance-wise, he can't come out and just attack because Floyd is the best counterpuncher there. So as soon as he leaves that chin open, goodbye chin, right? And then he's knocked out in the first round.
Right.
So I think in order for Conor to get this fight to go any sort of distance, he's got to come out a little slow and pick his spots against one of the best defensive fighters we've ever seen.
I think the best scenario that could possibly happen for, call it the casual fan, would be sort of the final scene from Rocky 3 where Rocky owes Apollo the sparring session, and they get in the ring, and they both dance, and they're talking, and Apollo, oh, looking good, Stallion, I taught you too well. And then all of a sudden they both just rip. And I could, in the back of my mind, I could see that as a scenario where they both dance a little bit and then all of a sudden they just go, but they'll never maintain that pace.
Floyd can.
Correct.
Just because that's he's trained his whole life for.
Right.
Conor's more, I think Conor could just out of pure
adrenaline.
And it's interesting. I was reading something today. Carl Froch, who's a very good technical fighter, mentioned that Floyd has beaten so many boxers in his life, right? Everyone you put in front of Floyd was a boxer. Well, Conor's not a boxer, so if Conor has any chance, it's because he's throwing something different at Floyd. Not necessarily that Floyd hasn't seen before, but maybe that Floyd hasn't seen in a long time to where it might catch him off guard because he's not your traditional boxer.
It's almost by default.
Right. And not necessarily anything dirty, just in a different style. The guy's more traditionally stay in front of him. Maybe he's moving a little bit more side to side. Maybe there's a little bit more,
What's more confidence?
He's going against a fighter, not a boxer.
So let's break it down this way,
angles,
too.
Right?
We know who we all have taken.
Yes.
We've all taken Floyd. Okay? But now let's go 1 out of 10, your confidence in Floyd winning this fight. Mike?
I mean, it's high. I don't want to go 10 because Conor could come from out of nowhere with a rainmaker, and that's that. I doubt it, but I'll go 8.5.
15.
It's like that.
There's very little scenario I see. The only scenario I see is it's a fight, right? Mm-hmm. So everyone, obviously, you're in a ring, you're punching. There's always that chance. Outside of that chance, nothing. So, 15. So, 10.
Well, initially I was feeling 8. It was a solid number. I felt like 8 was good. And, Mike went 8.5. 9's I feel like too high. But, I mean, I have that much confidence. I mean, I think he wins the fight. I'll put money on him in a second. Even though Vegas has shifted big time. It was at one point plus 2,500.
Well,
hold on. Pump the brakes. Pump them, hit them hard. Hit it. Give me one more. All right. Make sure we really stop.
Wait, hold on.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Saving lives. But at one point it was plus 2,500 if you took McGregor. When I was down there, it got down to plus 250 McGregor. And now we talk about plus 300
McGregor.
Minus 400 Mayweather. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
As I stumble over my words here, that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
But see, I think the plus 2,500 was when it was still a thought. Ever since it came out as an actual happening, Conor has always been plus under 1,000, right? So it wasn't like, oh my goodness, this is a no-brainer to throw $100 at this in hopes to win, a lot of money.
All right.
When the fight actually got announced, it was actually pretty close of odds.
So here we go. You want me to read a call? I got a bunch. We'll read them all.
Go ahead, but I got one other scenario I want to throw out there in case anybody wants to comment on it too. And I tossed this at you guys when we first talked about this fight a few weeks ago. And I'm more convinced today than I was back then that this could happen. Floyd has been very careful with his words, where he doesn't say that this is his last fight. He says it's his last boxing match. I still would not put this past these two. If Floyd wins the fight, if their rematch happens a year from now in an octagon. So Floyd could very easily retire from boxing undefeated. And if his UFC career is 0-1, oh well, he gave it a shot. He's still the most decorated boxer, or one of the most decorated boxers of all time. I can still see this turning into a, you got me in your arena, now you come visit me in mine.
If Floyd was 10 years younger, I might give you that scenario. There's no shot Floyd steps in an octagon against anybody, let alone one of the best in the business right now.
Yeah, it'd be dumb. It'd be dumb for him.
Because
unless the payday's just that much.
I mean,
unless the payday's just that much.
But what if the payday is 10 figures? Because it could be.
Floyd don't need
of course.
But Floyd don't need it.
He might. The way he talks, boxers go broke. And more than any sport, you can hang your hat on one thing. What do boxers do? They go broke. Okay? More than any sport. And then you can list the other professional sports. Okay? They all do. The amount of money.
Make it rain.
First off, that guy advertises on his own Instagram.
He's
a
great follow.
Okay, real quick. All he does is pump out the strip club.
Yes.
Okay. Now it turns the people off on his Instagram. People, you know what I mean. He's using it to make more money. I get it. I get that side of the gig. But my point is that he's going to go broke at some point.
Yeah.
The way he gambles, the way he throws money around.
They're the money team.
But look,
the money team.
Look at what he's.
If somebody offered him $1 billion to get into the octagon, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, he might get killed though. He could die. He could die in the octagon.
Conor McGregor took out Jose Aldo, who was the best guy that Conor was supposed to fight, in 10 seconds.
Yeah,
in 10 seconds.
I get it.
Guys get the kill shots in the octagon.
Yeah.
I mean, you get kill shots.
I mean, you're
where it's like, boom, headshot.
Gloves.
You're done.
Not even feeling it.
And then you're taking one off from the fist off the face, and guys are jumping in the goddamn air like spider monkeys and kicking you with their freaking kneecap in the grill too. And it's like knockout.
Look,
and it's like game over.
I would go 10 seconds with McGregor for $1 billion.
Shit, Mike. I mean, 100,000 go not lay me out. Give me health insurance first, then lay me out. But real quick, let me read off a bunch of these.
Go ahead.
Vinny Madison, no chance in terms of the octagon. However, that would make even more money than this.
I rest my
You get
case.
hospitalized though.
Sure.
And I think we agree with that. It would be a payday for him. That's the only
absolutely.
way he would do it. Doug Zeke, no effing way, Mike. Floyd, too pretty for the octagon. You're smoking some shit. A lot of crying faces. Ace Wyatt, Mayweather would literally be killed in the octagon. Gavin Glover talking about the fight now.
Right.
4-round knockout. Conor wins.
Conor?
Yup.
Wow, I don't see it.
Talking all bets. He's taking the fight.
Wow.
How much? Gavin.
Get my boy Joe in
You
there.
want to go 100? 2? Get back to me right in here.
Be a big payday.
Joe DeFranco, I think Mayweather's coming out offensively will be the biggest mistake. Conor's precision and accuracy with counterpunching is his greatest attribute. I know the easy thing to say is Mayweather wins easily, but there's a few things, and then he too much for it's a lot.
That's my buddy Joe.
That's awesome, Joe. A lot.
He's a ex-fighter, so he knows it from inside.
Conor wins. He says that Conor wins. That's being the first 3 or 4 rounds. We've touched on that part of it, that he had to win early.
He's a sucker. I'm getting to buy the fight, and then I'm just going to his house.
You better take pizza.
But he said he thinks it's gonna be more exciting than Mayweather and Pac-Man.
Well, anything's more exciting than that.
So Zeke on the 1 to 10 scale though went in with the 9 on Floyd.
All right.
Love it, Zeke. Bob Hartman talking about the fight, streaming it. We got you. Stream smart. Vinny Madison, he's already commented in here. He'll take care of you. I got one, dude. You'll get the fight for free. It's freaking phenomenal. Do it. All right, let's get that out of the way.
Sixers JT, I believe McGregor will get his ass handed to him. Floyd Mayweather could beat Ali in his prime.
Oh,
I don't know about
I don't
that.
know. I'm getting cute.
Entirely different weight classes.
We're getting cute. Yep,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a little bit carried away, but I like your style.
Floyd might go down as the best pound-for-pound boxer of all time.
Yes.
He will.
Yeah.
Especially if he just wins this and wins this convincingly, like most people think he will.
And let's be real, there's credit for Floyd if he wins. Like, it's not like, oh, he's supposed to win. Well, yeah, he was supposed to win, but there's some real credit to give Floyd if he wins this fight.
And guess what? I wrote it in the comments, and I believe it. I am torn on it a little bit. Like, the money in Vegas shift, I understand, but they're trying to get you to take McGregor. But maybe there's something to it. I mean, for the money to shift that much, and I know 95% of the money was coming in on Floyd, and I understand that creates a shift. But from plus 2,500 to plus 300 is a big time shift in money, and I don't think it's a shift. People are going to take Floyd; they're going to take him. You know what I mean? And I understand you lower his thing, so whatever. But Floyd was even minus more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you would think that all the money's coming in. Why would if he's minus already high? Why would we lower his minuses? Now I'm lowering how much people are winning. I mean, you know what I mean? Or raising how much
you lower because you need people to get on the other side.
I understand that, but not really when you're minus 1,000. Something ridiculous. Not when you're minus like a ridiculous amount. Because what are you paying?
Yeah.
People got to come in with hardcore, big-time bucks for it to even freaking matter to you.
Win money, yeah.
So that's the only thing that makes me think that, like, oh, well, Vegas is giving him a shot. They're giving him a shot, and that's the only reason I went 8 and not 22 or 107 is like, well, I'm getting a little torn on it. And McGregor's demeanor, the way he speaks, everything sells you on the guy. So it's tough. It's tough.
More news here, fellas. Rich Hill loses the no-hitter in the 10th on a Josh Harrison walk-off homer.
Boom.
Pirates win 1-0. One run on one hit.
There you go.
Unbelievable.
Here's I got sucked in a whole bunch of videos yesterday, naturally, and Paulie Malignaggi. Everyone.
Who? God bless you.
Yeah, exactly. But it was Conor's sparring partner,
right?
And they released those videos of Conor knocking him down, right? So Paulie was trying to get the attention of Conor's manager. Had no intentions of talking to Conor itself, but of course Conor, it blows up. One thing Paulie said is, "I hope you brought your balls, like tomorrow, like in the fight." And Paulie was referencing to when he fought Nate Diaz that first time, when the going got tough. He tried to take a black belt in jiu-jitsu down and took the fight to the ground. Why do you do that against a black belt in jiu-jitsu? You don't. And then naturally he comes out and he gets tapped out. So Paulie is referencing when the times get tough, Conor hides because he doesn't have the balls. And Paulie was making sure that during this fight, it's going to get tough against the best boxer in the world.
Yep.
Right. Did you pack your balls? Hashtag bring your balls, Conor. Right, so that it was, but there was a couple different videos of Paulie going on, and now Paulie has turned into this third man circus of this fight week because of the sparring session and what went down during camp, and it's going to be interesting to see if Paulie can stay balanced and stay even on the call because Showtime has it, so it will be Mauro Ranallo, Al Bernstein, and Paulie Malignaggi on the call for the fight. And it'll be really interesting to see if he can stay even and stay centered on which way he lies during this fight.
I'm a big Mauro guy, too.
I love Mauro.
Mauro's
great.
Boxing, wrestling, UFC, it doesn't matter. Mauro is phenomenal.
Listening to Mauro is like music to the ears. Yeah. Call anything combat sports.
Well, I mean,
Tom doesn't know how to answer that right there.
No,
Tom doesn't know how to follow that.
I was thinking back. I was thinking back on something he said, but he still did get knocked out.
Who?
Well, who got knocked out in the ring when they were sparring?
That's the thing. It never happened. It was a push.
All right.
It was a push, and
it looked like a.
Well, that's the whole point in it all, and that's why guys like you.
Oh, guys like me. What
who are still living the Vegas life, right? Who still think Vegas is giving him a shot.
Who's still living the goddamn Vegas life? Who they make more money than anybody. There's
I know,
a reason they
but
do.
you're there, so you were directly resulting in this.
How does them trying to convince you? Listen, like I said, if people are going to take Floyd, they're going to take him regardless.
Sure.
Now you're enticing more people to take Floyd because he's only minus 400. Or was he minus 400, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what I'm saying
that
is
entices you
those
more to take Floyd.
Those videos were
Forget the video. Vegas entices you more to take Floyd when you're lower
Yes.
in the minus.
Yeah.
So what's the point? What's the point?
Because
so
it-
so
because
they're
it-
telling me Conor has a chance. That's what the hell they're telling me.
Yeah, and that's what it's.
Oh,
and that's
wow,
not.
I can,
no,
I-
you're
I can
absolutely
read
right. That's
them.
what they're
I
saying.
can read them.
That's what they're
Read them like a
saying.
goddamn book.
You're right. That's what they're saying.
And
but
after
he
I'm done
doesn't.
reading them and I feel dirty, I watch off of Soapstash. Soapstash LLC. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. And Toopy chiming in. Did I get her name right, Rob?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at me, man.
On the ball.
Smooth. I hope they
Or
knock each
something.
other out. I would rather watch paint dry. Frank Vespi had a similar sentiment.
And she knows
I'm
her
not
boxing, too. She puts some men to shame.
Well, guess what?
Need to get her on.
Floyd, by the way, is a piece of shit. I hope we can reconfirm that.
Oh, I'm not.
He's not a
talking
good
of-
human
No,
being.
love the guy in the ring.
I'm not
Outside of the
talking
ring, he's
about
a
outside.
scumbag and a piece of garbage.
I got a big question for you,
Just
fellas.
to reconfirm Floyd Mayweather.
No
for the
question
public.
there.
And this might be behind the shift in Vegas. Do you think age plays a factor here? You know, you got McGregor's 29 years of age to Floyd's 40. Does that play a factor in stamina-wise? Because when I fight kids lower than me, younger than me, I struggle a little bit.
I do think it plays a part. I don't know if it necessarily plays a part stamina-wise because Floyd's done it his whole life. So I think Floyd could roll at a bed and go 12 rounds, right?
Agreed.
You know, the type of fighter he is. Even if he's gassed, he'll go into defensive mode for 2-3 rounds, revitalize, regenerize, and then be able to go for it. But I do think age does play a factor in the odds and does play a factor in, why people think that, Conor has a shot.
But he does. He does have a shot.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not picking him to win, but he has a shot.
He has a shot.
Listen, when it first
There's-
started, Mike, when it first started too, right, I was so confident the one side, so confident in Floyd. And not from what I seen of him in the ring, but just the demeanor, the bravado. Floyd, a little bit of lack of bravado.
But
hold on.
Go ahead.
Hold on. One guy who you expect bravado from, you've actually, his bravado's going the other way. And McGregor, who you know has bravado, has lived up to that side of it and has been confident the whole time. And with Vegas and the whole money gig, has led me to believe that this guy's got a more of a chance. All right? And if it was a 10 out of 10 for me and my confidence in Floyd, lowers it to an 8, which gives Conor that 2.
Okay.
Chance of winning
Yeah.
out of 10.
I mean,
That's not fair to you?
no, it's a fair point.
Well, no, because you're boxing.
It's a fair point.
No, I mean, I love boxing too, but you're still
junkie.
deep into it.
Yeah.
Where we're like when the best left and it dried out for a while, I turned my
Yeah.
back to her.
Yeah.
But I'm back to a point. But I lean to you. Is that a fair assessment?
It's definitely a fair assessment. Again, anytime
16, 15, this freaking guy.
anytime you put two guys in a ring with
It's not-
gloves
it's
on,
not a fair assessment.
there's a chance. But I think it's
So you
I
tell me
think
there's a
it's-
chance.
Jason Grasol says 8.5 rounds equals gift.
if it goes 8.5 rounds, you got your money's worth.
Doug Z says we all have a shot of Powerball tonight as well.
Boom.
No, you don't. 'cause
I
I'm winning it.
agree. Zeke, I
I'm winning
agree.
it.
But the money won't shift the Powerball like that in Vegas. I don't think he has. Listen, I don't think he's winning. There's no shot he's winning in my eyes. I'm just saying, betting wise, there's more. You would lean to being like, okay, maybe I would at this point with everything that I've seen move, shake, him in the ring a little bit, his bravado. Maybe he does. But deep down, I don't have him winning. So I stand by that. Floyd's winning this match.
Yes.
Game over there. Game over, boys. He says
So-
over 8.5 rounds. So I guess that's what he's
Let me ask you
going
guys.
over under.
I'll go under.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Yeah. We'll get back to that. Keep
I
that.
think we
Remember
I think we all agree that the only way Conor's going to win this fight is by knockout. Does it have
Yeah.
to be early?
Yeah.
Does it have to come within the first 3 rounds? Because after that, do you feel like Floyd will have felt him out enough within the first 3 rounds to be able then to stay away from any big shots that Conor might be able to deliver?
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
I think you can even, the most you can stretch is the 1 through 4. In terms of rounds where Conor's got to knock him out if he stands any shot in the fight. Like you said, his stamina is probably a lot better training this way. and getting ready for a fight like this, but it's still not going to be to the level of Floyd's who's done in his whole career.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I believe, maybe you can even stretch it to a 5 with all the stamina training he's probably done. Maybe you could say it's got to be 1 through 5, but it's got to be early. And that's the most I would go is 5.
Yeah.
And early in the 5.
And I think you're dead on with the 3 because I think anything later than that, the technical side of Floyd is timing him now.
Right.
Right? I think Floyd out in the first round will have his timing down. But after 3 rounds, he'll then have seen everything
exactly.
that Conor has to potentially give him. Conor trains for 25 minutes versus 36 minutes. A little bit of difference, but more or less, Conor hasn't had many fights go the distance much recently. So even though you're training for that, the energy load is pushed forward versus extending that out. So that is something to watch. I do think it is. If he has a chance, it's 4. I'll give him 4, but yeah, it's close.
It's early.
Yeah.
Joe DeFranco definitely going the full 12 unless Conor wins. Floyd hasn't knocked anyone out in a long time.
There we go.
Well, that goes back to the hand thing.
But that's what I said. That Floyd keeps saying he's going to bring the fight. He's going to bring the fight. He's going to bring the fight. I think Joe's spot on.
Don't tell him that.
Come on.
No, he is.
Come on.
He knows
Real's
his stuff.
real.
He knows his stuff.
Yeah.
But see, Floyd doesn't care about his hand after this. So Floyd will go out and break his hand again to knock this guy out. I think that.
Mike Scanzano says Conor has no shot. Stop it. No, I don't. I'm going to go back and say it again. I don't believe so. For the last 2 months we've talked about this fight, I've given him no shot. The only person who has is Vegas.
You're right.
And sometimes you look at Vegas and say you're pretty smart down there.
Yeah.
Maybe he does have a little bit of a shot. So for me going 10 out of 10 in terms of like my confidence, I dropped it to an 8 in terms of my confidence in Floyd winning, and I'm giving Conor a 2 out of 10. Not a really good shot.
Yeah.
I'm not really giving him a shot. I'm just saying he's in the park at least. In terms of what Vegas thinks.
He's in the ring.
In terms of what Vegas thinks, they think he's in the park.
Right.
Which means if it goes 12, right, to your guys' point, anything can happen.
Sure.
If it goes 12, anything can happen.
Right. Now, some of that, though, may be skewed. I mean, just a little bit, because there are some sports books in Vegas that are taking 6- and 7-figure bets on McGregor to try to offset all the money that's coming in on Mayweather.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, part of it is the money shift, but the money shift still takes Floyd's minus down for the people that were still coming in late. So essentially, it's not going to really save you that much money, realistically,
right,
if you really look at it like that. So it's just Vegas saying, hey, we're giving this guy a shot. Now, is it the one sell tickets? Probably, but I'm sure that's not the issue. But is it to get people to watch more? People are going to watch. They're not going to watch because the line shifts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that reason at all. But Floyd wins the fight again. Ace Wyatt, Mayweather will not drop Conor at any point in this fight. I don't know. I mean, I think we all agree on that. He hasn't knocked anybody out in a long time.
You and I do. Greg still feels like the broken hand is
well, yeah, just because
he's cocked and ready.
Is it likely? No, because you're right. He hasn't done it in a long time. And if he sits back in defense mode, he's just going to have to just
when, Greg. That's who he is. That's who he is. I love the guy as a fighter, but that's who he is.
Off the top,
not
of
a
your
fighter out of the ring, by the way.
Huh?
Fighter in ring.
Yes.
I don't like him as the fighter out of the ring.
No.
Yeah.
Got
Greg,
that?
off the top of your head,
Got that, Robbie?
He's 49-0, right?
Yes.
Not even a chuckle from
You
these
know,
idiots.
of those 49, do you happen off the top of your head? Do you know how many knockouts he has?
Off the top of my head, I don't.
Is it in single digits?
No,
Okay.
it's not single digits. I would say high teens, low 20s.
Yeah, because he probably not. You knock out some scrubs early on.
Some
a lot
jabrones,
recently
yeah.
though. No, but like Canelo Alvarez, who has a fight coming up against Triple G, and that's what HBO is selling as the real fight in September.
Mm-hmm.
He toyed with Canelo, right? Canelo couldn't touch him, and same thing with and he danced with Maidana for 2 fights. It was bad, but that's part of that is he didn't want to go out now, according to him, because of the hand.
Right.
Well, when does the time, like in any sport and any great player, where his asset is his footwork, right? When does that go? Has it gone? We don't know.
But I think that's why he retired and had to get brought out for a mega fight. Because I think he realized he was on the decline.
Vinny said he's KO'd over 20 plus.
Okay.
Bob Hartman, Phil's win, by the way, 8-0.
Yeah, we'll get to that, Bob.
They're back.
I was just checking that out while we were talking about this.
Vinny Madison, the guy put $8,800,000 on Floyd yesterday. Imagine that kind of cash on a match.
Wait,
Imagine
880,000?
Oh, man, can't
Wow.
buy the yacht. You know what I mean? We're not going to be able to buy the yacht, honey.
Sorry, I can't fill the gas on the yacht.
All right, hold on a second.
Jason Griswold,
Back up to
26.
trade.
26 exactly, Floyd.
Because if you can afford to put $880,000 on a fight, you can afford to lose $880,000 on the fight.
You're
and
sure
not
as hell
bat an
think
eye.
so.
You
I'll
would
sure as
hope
hell
so.
think so, yep. You would
And
one would assume.
880,000 is such a random number too. It's unbelievable.
I almost want to take his bet. Just like, oh, get my saw. He's got it. Yeah, I mean, think about the percentage. Except for life. All I need is one good punch, which isn't going to happen.
No.
But no, again, I mean, he has a shot like anybody has a shot when they get in the ring, like Greg talked about earlier. But unless Floyd's footwork has gone and his speed is gone, there's no shot. If there's a chink in the armor on that footwork and his quickness and ability to play defense, it's going to then maybe something can happen. Because it's going to, you assume it happens at some point. That's what Greg said. That's why he retired, because he probably felt like he was getting slower.
Right, but you'll know, I mean, to your point, you'll know early. I mean, if they come out in the first round and Floyd looks like he's got cinder blocks in his boots, you're going to know it right away.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a feeling out process on that. And maybe that's the reason that he's saying he's got to take the fight to McGregor, because he knows maybe he's a little slower. Maybe he doesn't move the way he used to. We'll see. I still think a lot of it's just all talk. I think he's trying to plant seeds, knowing that he's going to go completely the opposite direction and do what he always does.
Yeah, and that's Floyd. And you brought up how Floyd has kind of played the reserve role in this hype up. Well, because Floyd has had to sell every other fight recently. Now he's got a guy that can sell it for him, and the guy has to sell it for him because the boxing fans are going to show up.
Brother, every guy, every athlete is a creature of goddamn habit, okay? Every goddamn athlete on the face of the planet is a creature of habit. Every professional one, okay? The second you start not being who you are, especially or being doing what you've done for so long, especially in a sport like boxing, and the second you give a guy a chance when you've never given guys chances, and you've said that out loud, that's you being different to me.
Yeah.
That can affect you right up here, and right up here can affect you when you get into that ring.
Absolutely.
So I mean, you're talking of stuff you've never heard Floyd say ever, and that's what's got to be like, whoa, what are you doing? Who are you? Who's
Right.
this guy?
Yeah.
That's not what we're used to. Now, you're saying because he doesn't have to, but you've done it for 49 other fights.
Yeah.
So, creatures of habit,
You're right.
and you get in the ring, is that going to affect them?
You're absolutely
I'm
right.
just throwing any
Sure.
ways out there.
And you're not wrong.
That for
You know.
anybody who would say McGregor, which isn't me, I'm playing devil's advocate and giving maybe different ways, he stands a chance.
Yeah.
But I still think Floyd's quick, man. He's got to be. I think he's quick when he's 62 years old.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's just a quick mother. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's still like food, hot dog. So that's how I feel about him in the ring. So listen, let's talk a little trade talk.
All right.
That happened. That
Yeah.
went down. The mega deal, I think, is what you can call it at this point. The Cavs, Celtics swap a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
Cleveland gets. Well, first off, Boston gets Kyrie back, Isaiah Thomas, Crowder,
Jay Crowder, and then
the foreign.
Anti-Zizek.
Yeah, okay. And
Robbie,
the
if you have a hot second, can you try to get that full trade for us?
and the Nets.
Thank you, sir.
And the Nets 2018 first round pick.
Which
That's
is
the whole
that-
trade.
Which is
came
unprotected.
Unprotected from Brooklyn.
from Brooklyn. The Nets.
I think
yeah,
he just
that's
broke it down in
Yeah,
full, but
that's
I'll
the whole
double
deal.
check.
So
Thanks, brother.
it's Isaiah Thomas, Crowder, the European
Zizek.
and 2018 first round unprotected pick. That's the Nets from Boston.
Yes.
Done and done.
Which is
So who wins?
Which is a top 3 at minimum top
I
5
mean,
pick.
they might be the worst team in basketball.
Right, yeah.
So maybe one. Unless D'Angelo Russell becomes a good player out of nowhere. But real quick,
Yeah.
forget that. Where were we?
Who wins?
Okay, who wins the trade? Yes. Who wins? And it's brought to you by Soap Stash LLC. Find them on the web, soapstash.com.
I think you can flip a coin on who wins Because I think the trade just shuffled pieces around, but nothing really got accomplished, right? You replaced Isaiah Thomas with Kyrie Irving on both squads. That's really what it was to me. Like, why was this deal good for Boston, but packaging, not having to give up Isaiah Thomas and packaging those two guys in the Nets pick, send into New Orleans for Anthony Davis wasn't good enough for that pick. You know what I mean? Like, what made Kyrie over Isaiah that much of a jump?
Well, I think he's a better overall player.
I agree with that, yes.
So, I mean, I think it says, okay, we'll swap it. You know, I don't think that Danny Ainge is in love with Isaiah Thomas defensively at all. And I think that hurts when he's talking about wanting a max deal. And I think when you talk about being smart and saying which one would I rather give a max deal to when it's coming up here, well, I'd rather give it to Kyrie if I'm going to max a guy because he's superstar talent. And you know what? Okay, I got to give up this pick. Well, I wasn't going to keep Isaiah anyway. I was going to lose him, and I was going to end up with the pick. So essentially, in his eyes, I'm just trading the pick, Crowder, and the European for Kyrie. And if you break it down like that, if Danny Ainge thinks like that, this trade's real logical for him because he believes he's going to sign Kyrie to the max deal, keep him. He's their franchise player to go along with the kids they had. Because Jaylen Brown was off limits in this deal. I mean, Cleveland wanted Jaylen Brown. They wanted him real bad.
No, they were more than willing to give up Jay Crowder, but they weren't giving up Jaylen Brown.
Listen, they were more willing to give the pick than they were of giving Jaylen Brown. So that tells you. I think you can't say long-term a team wins it because you don't know what the pick is for Cleveland. But Boston wins the deal.
Well, see, you're right. But you're right.
I like Crowder a lot.
You're right in theory, but my answer to that was going to be, who wins it this year? This year it's Cleveland.
This year it's Cleveland?
This year it's Cleveland. Long-term.
How's it Cleveland this year?
I'll tell you. This year it's Cleveland. Long-term it's Boston. And the reason that it's Cleveland this year.
Like with a Crowder?
No. Not because of Crowder. What's the one thing that we have talked about with Isaiah Thomas on this show and other shows on this station over and over and over and over again? He is the most lethal fourth-quarter scorer in the NBA, and he has been for 2 years. What was the biggest fault that Cleveland had in the finals last year against Golden State, other than the fact that they couldn't cover Durant? They didn't have anybody knocking down shots in the fourth quarter to either put Golden State away or get them back in games.
And Crowder can cover him a little bit.
Right. So
can anyone really cover Durant?
No.
You're getting Crowder. You're getting Crowder who can fill it up a little bit and play some real good defense, and you're getting the most lethal fourth quarter scorer in the NBA to pair with LeBron and Derrick Rose.
But you also gave up a guy who was a big part of winning you the finals.
Right, which is why I say long term Boston wins this deal.
Okay.
But next year, I think Cleveland goes back to the finals.
Well, I actually think Boston beats them.
See, I don't see that.
I see that. I see that a lot. I'm starting to see that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. They still have love too. Yeah, it's tough, but Boston definitely made themselves better. And if you made yourself better right now, right? If they're better right this second, and they were the 1 seed last year, well, that would make them the 1 again, right? So they got the home court again, essentially, hypothetically, right? So you're saying, okay, we're going to rematch again, but we got Kyrie and Gordon Hayward now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, because it's not just this deal. It's which team's better after the deal, and what team's better after the deal is the Celtics. You know, you got Jason Tatum. You got Jaylen Brown. Yeah, you got Marcus Smart.
Wait. You have
Jason
Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart coming off the bench.
And you got Morris.
Because here's the potential
Horford.
The potential
Loaded.
The potential starting lineup for the Celtics.
Yeah, hit me, Mike. I can't wait.
Irving at the point, Jaylen Brown at shooting guard, our guy Gordon Hayward at small forward, Morris at power forward, and Al Horford at center.
Who's their two?
Jaylen Brown.
They're playing Brown at 2. Yeah, all right.
Because
they're running him 2 in the summer league a lot. Hayward 3, Morris 4,
and Horford 5. So then you've got Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum coming off the bench. Right there, you're 7 deep. That's probably the top 3 7 deep in the NBA.
Yeah. No, definitely. And I hate to say it that they're loaded because that's our rival in our division,
right,
and a team we want to beat, and I'm not scared of them. With all things being equal and we're healthy, I'm not scared of them at all.
Yeah.
But if you're matching them up against them, they've had a great offseason. Danny Ainge is a smart guy for a lot of things he's done. I read something on social media the other day, a guy blaming, Colangelo for letting this happen by dealing the Sixers pick, the Sixers-Lakers pick over to Boston, now allowing Ainge to make this move. And I'm like, what? That had nothing to do with it.
You got Maikel Franco. Shut up.
That had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I mean, that had nothing to do with it. You're reaching, Daddy. Now you're reaching for shit.
But to that point, Danny Ainge held on to this pick for a reason.
Oh, sure he did.
But is Kyrie the best? Was Kyrie the best option for this pick? Again, I go back to you probably could have kept Isaiah Thomas. You could have sent that whole deal to New Orleans and gotten like a guy like Anthony Davis. Does that make your team better than just Kyrie here? Because let's go. It's Kyrie for the pick. That's really what it was.
Yeah, but I guess Ainge believes that he's going to be that franchise caliber player. And with the talent around him,
I like Kyrie.
But
I like Kyrie.
Right, but
a dominant big man would have done me more when you already had a guy like Isaiah.
But let's take it back to the draft for a second, though, because everyone's saying that he was going to take Tatum at 3 or Tatum at 1, and the Sixers still could have gotten Fultz at 3. I don't necessarily believe that. I think there's a good possibility that may be the case.
Uh-huh.
But here's the thing. There's got to be something going on there in terms of his mindset that –
Sorry.
Keep plugging it, baby. There's got to be something there in terms of his mindset where he traded out of that number 1 spot because maybe he doesn't necessarily believe that Fultz or Ball was better than what he had in Isaiah Thomas, but likely also believe that Isaiah Thomas isn't the long-term answer because he's undersized.
Yeah, I'm not giving him max money.
Exactly. That's the thing is that for as lethal as he is, he's not the superstar. He's not the one on a team.
Yeah.
And Danny Ainge knows that.
I think he got hurt in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I think the way he saw Kyrie play over the last 2 finals is that, he's an assassin.
Yeah.
He's an assassin offensively, and that's what you're looking for right now in the NBA is guys who are assassins, guys who aren't scared to take that fourth quarter shot.
Right, but you need that guy, that same guy that you're talking about, you need him to be willing not just to take the fourth quarter shot, but to bring the ball up the court, take that fourth quarter shot, be the one, the number 1 option on the team. And I think that Danny Ainge looking at him as a 5'9" point guard.
In terms of Isaiah,
he's just saying that no matter how good this guy is, a 5'9" point guard can't be my number 1 scoring option.
No question about it.
Right.
And I think the way his team's built right now is you put a guy like Kyrie around all these like role player, second tier guys who are really good basketball players and young kids. Right, that you're putting them around and putting guys in great spots.
But I love
you're putting Gordon Hayward in a great spot.
Yeah. I love where the conversation's gone though, because Al Horford and Gordon Hayward are both top 25 NBA players, but they're role players compared to Kyrie.
They're almost like that. They're almost like the second tier to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean in terms of players, but they're still really good. All-star caliber players,
Sure.
and you're built like that. And Jaylen Brown, who you would think is going to get to that level soon, right? And who else was in that? Morris, who's just a good, solid basketball player and can score.
Philly guy.
Yeah, but they have a lot of scoring, and that's the thing. A ton of scoring. I mean, that's why I think they can hang with anybody.
And then to Mike's point, coming off the bench, you got Smart, who's going to D somebody up, and you have Jason Tatum, who that was the one thing he could do coming out of the draft is put the ball in his hands. He's going to get you 15 to 20
He's going to score. Yeah, he's one of them guys who walks into it.
Walks into 15.
Similar to what I thought Okafor could be, a guy who just walks into 15 because that's just – he's that big and can score. But but Tatum's outside game solid. His post game solid. Got real good footwork.
But now look at the flip side of the deal. With everything that you're saying there, you've got a guy in LeBron who can now create for Isaiah Thomas and Derrick Rose, and you've got a guy in Jay Crowder that you can match up defensively on Kevin Durant. You still got Kevin Love at the 4. If they get any kind of production out of a big at all, they're going to be they're going to be number 1, number 2 in the
Chloe.
Oh.
Well, here, let me throw this.
The Kardashian curse, yeah. But if they get any kind of production out of a big,
that's their big.
Yeah, but if
the
they
big
get any production out of him at all, they're winning the Eastern Conference.
Well, but that's the thing. I think everybody's talking like, well, when Cleveland gets to the finals and they match up, how do they face against Golden State? Well, I counted that by. Shit, they gotta get out of the East first.
Yeah,
because the second best team in the East or the first best team in the East, however you want to slice it, is the Celtics. I hate to say it, So, how do you get out of that? I mean,
Yeah.
that's a real good basketball team you got to go see, better than the one you saw before, and you lost a guy, you lost a superstar.
Yeah.
You got a superstar left for a star NBA player. Is that a better way to
Yeah.
phrase it?
Yeah, that's
Superstar for a star.
Right.
Okay, your team's not as good as they were right now. They're just not. Cleveland's not as good as they were yesterday at, let's say, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
So,
they're just not.
So going on that,
And I like Crowder a lot too. And that's what. But long term, yeah, maybe they are because they have that pick. You know what that pick turns into. But right now, I mean, to me, it was a way to. We just got to get something back, and it's a really good deal for us. It's a really good deal for us to take on.
So
we're getting a lot of talent in the deal, and we're getting a pick. Let's do it. It was a really good deal for Cleveland.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make them better right now. That's my only gripe with it.
on that note, you could potentially going into next year, right, without LeBron and without Isaiah Thomas, if you're Cleveland. So this deal was all about that pick because it's potentially the number 1 pick. Do you see a scenario?
But hold on a second. Back up the train because I'll address that. I think if LeBron opts out, Cleveland just throws the bank at Isaiah Thomas. I don't think they're going to lose both of them.
Okay, that's a fair point.
Okay.
I'm thinking on the Danny Ainge side, I'm not giving max money to a 5.9 point guard.
Right.
But you're right. I see your point. But is there a point in the year where Cleveland says, all right, we can't beat Boston? Do they entertain offers for LeBron? And almost let's see what we can get for him before he just walks in the offseason? Because he's already said it's his last year in Cleveland because of this whole fiasco, which, of course, he started because he was the GM.
And gets coaches fired.
Yeah.
And
Is
GMs fired.
there any scenario or any time slot where they're like, all right, listen, we're 0-5 against Boston this year. They're really good. We have no shot.
I'll take that out one step further. What makes you think they're not listening already?
I
That's what I was
completely
gonna say.
agree.
Yep. That's what
I was having a conversation today, and someone's like, "Oh yeah, LeBron will be a Sixer by Christmas."
And if I'm Boston, then if I'm Cleveland, I'm sorry. If I'm Cleveland, I'm almost looking for just give me solid veterans, but I'm looking for picks, and I'm looking for unprotected, and I'm looking for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's what I'm searching for. I almost want to see if I can get myself in a three-teamer where I got a lot coming back.
Right.
You know what I mean in terms of picks.
Five first-rounders get you LeBron.
But I want that second. If I'm Cleveland, I want that second-tier stars. Probably at least 2 of them, and I want at least 2 first unprotected back, and that's the only way I'm making the deal. And I want them unprotected 2 years down the line. You know what I mean? I don't want them that next year. I want them the following and the year after, when I know he could walk from your ass and you could stink. That's how I would do it.
Okafor, Rocco, and 5 first-rounders to Cleveland.
Oh. Gavin Glover saying good night, guys.
Sam Hickey just rolled over in his grave right now.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Bob Harmer said blaming BC is ridiculous, like we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
And I love to blame BC, but there's nothing.
Yeah, me too. And he goes, is the juice worth the squeeze? If the answer is yes, you've identified the guy you want. You make the move to assure you get him. Don't take any chances and do what you got to do to get him. And that's what he did for Maikel Fultz. And listen, I was critical of Colangelo. You were critical of Colangelo. You've been critical of Colangelo. We're all hinky guys. But that was a really good trade. You targeted the guy you wanted, the guy you feel is a franchise caliber player, and you went and got him.
Yep.
A guy who we believe can walk in this league and drop you 18 a night.
We all sat here, at various times off air and said that the guy that we absolutely wanted was Maikel Fultz, but there was no way that he was dropping to 3.
Agreed.
And we start.
Besides this jabroni.
Right, but I mean, even he admitted the talent level. But I mean, we talked about, he wanted Tatum, or no, you wanted.
Oh, he wanted Jackson.
You wanted Jackson.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked about scenarios
The talent is there,
with
yes.
Jackson. We talked about De'Aaron Fox. We talked about a number of guys.
Yeah, we kicked the
that the Sixers would get
terrible in a lot.
at 5 and 10, at 3 and whatever. We went through every possible scenario because we didn't think there was a shot at Fultz.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as there just became any whisper that number 1 pick was available, every goddamn Sixers fan, with the exception of maybe this guy, said, "No, you go get Maikel Fultz." I don't think there's anybody in this town that hated this deal.
Oh, every smart basketball guy said the same thing.
Guess I'm not a smart basketball
You're
guy.
a boxing guy. Wait, David?
No, I like the deal.
No, I know you do.
I mean,
I know
mean?
that was
Like,
just your guy. No,
yeah.
that's fine because I like Jackson too. At three, I was all over
Right,
Josh
yeah.
Jackson.
Well, see, and I
The second we got one, I'm like, well, that changed.
That's of course
Bolton's
huge
my guy.
difference.
I was praying for 5 and 10 because I wanted Fox and the Jonathan Isaac.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was a big
Dave,
man.
David Roska, Cavs will be an NBA champion again in 3 years. Not without LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron won't be there, so how's that happen?
You better hope they re-sign
No.
LeBron.
Jay Crowder?
Bob Hartman wants to switch the convo up. I know we're going to talk about Birds later on, but he goes, hate to cross sports and give Howie credit, but Howie and staff identified Wentz and made the moves to get to the number 2 to go get him. I hate giving Howie credit, hashtag. And completely agree with you. Every time
Same
I
thing.
give Howie credit, I cringe. Agreed. He targeted. That's the guy I want. That's a game changer. That's a franchise changer. That's the guy who's going to get me on Broad and Patterson. Blah, 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 blah. You know the story. And we walk in. And you know the good times that happen. But
That was a good time.
both identified, both guys that I've crushed, you guys crushed, identified and went and got the guys that they believe are franchise changers.
Right, that they thought was there. Yeah.
Hence why I have the Eagles at 11-5.
I love
And
you.
we'll talk about that later on. Did I raise that? Was I
did.
10-6?
You did. You were 10 and 6.
Later
last
on,
week.
it'll be 12.
You
it'll
said
be
it was going to
12.
go up.
I did.
Listen, don't-
I told you dollars to donuts. You were going to take it up.
Don't have a 28-point first half tomorrow night because things are going to change. Things are going to change.
What if Sammy Sleeves is 10 for 10, 14 points?
Well, but,
Are we going to the Super Bowl again?
And by the way, I'm going to, that's what scares me, and that's what also makes me not buy in the preseason at all, right? When we come back throughout the show, I'm going to crush local media outlets for even suggesting that LeGarrette Blount is going to be released by this football team. For even suggesting it. If it happens, it happens. But for even bringing it up and suggesting it because of preseason games, it was the context. It wasn't, he could be released. It was the context on why he thought he was going to be released. Crumb talk, crumb material, and just shit that you don't want getting spewed into your goddamn ears. That's what it comes down to.
Before you go to break, let me just ask you guys
Fucking no agenda over here.
Quick question. How many times do you think LeGarrette Blount is going to run a sweep in the regular season? And I'll wait.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll wait.
75 times.
I don't even cross my goddamn legs, Mike, and I'll cross them and wait. And I don't even freaking cross them. Hurts my body, man. I don't know how people do that. Guys who cross. You crossers, you do. We know the answer. We know the answer. You're not crossers.
I ain't crossing legs. I ain't crossing streams. I ain't crossing eyes.
What's Zeke talking about? Cutler is in town. What, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They-
for
Miami
practices?
Dolphins, yeah.
Yeah, for
they've
practices.
been doing
Yeah.
those,
And they
those joint
play.
practices.
I just wanted to make sure I said it right. Cutler is in town,
Is he
according to
flexing?
Zeke.
He's flexing,
Well,
looking at the water.
Flexing the ass cheeks.
I just, real quick on Cutler though.
Women like it, so do men. I mean, don't people.
I love how all the media
equal
types.
opportunity here.
I love how all the media types going out to these two practices, and they're like, Miami and Adam Gase and Cutler's familiar with the system and the whole deal, and Cutler he can still spin it, still coming out hot. He's still going to throw 45 fucking interceptions this year or so.
He might
Come
not
on.
though. He might not though. He might not,
I mean,
boys.
he actually,
no.
But he actually has receivers that can catch the ball.
He's got talent. He's got
because-
a line.
around him.
because
He's got a
Alshon
running
Goodman-
back.
Well, also,
He's got everything.
He was suspended last year.
True.
He's got everything.
He does. He's got a running back, and I mean, you need
That's what you come out of retirement for.
Exactly.
When you know, like, I got Jay Ajayi, I got
You
Jarvis
come out of
Landry.
retirement when
yeah,
they
I mean,
ask
I
you
got
to come to-
playmakers.
Well,
Okay, I'll come out.
When they ask you to
I
come to
know
South
Adam.
Beach, you come out of retirement.
Oh yeah, you go to South Beach. But from all reports, Ronald Darby was pretty much a blanket on Jarvis Landry for everything Monday, Tuesday, and I'm all about that.
What was that again?
Ronald Darby
Yeah.
was like a blanket on Jarvis Landry Monday and Tuesday.
Well, Darby, that's where we give Howie credit again, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
Like we did last week. Darby was a great trade.
Yeah.
Jordan Matthews is a guy. He's a guy.
Just a guy.
All right, and the contagious drops translate to every goddamn guy on this roster. And let's get it out of town. Love Jordan. Great worker. Okay, he's Wentz's friend. So what? All right, I mean, that's part of the business, as all these guys want to call it anyway. And Bob Hartman said, let's give Doug credit for crushing that shit and publicly saying they expect big things from Blount in this offense. Yeah. I mean, who was it? Who did I say it was? Did I say it was
You said it was somebody on
94.1?
94, yeah.
Was it the camera?
Yeah, it was
was
the
it the
camera.
camera?
Yeah.
Who's supposed to be a smart football guy? Who's like their football guru over there,
Look,
essentially,
no,
right?
The camera's still worried about the freaking Arena Bowl on Saturday. So
Yeah.
you
All right,
shut
Joe.
up.
Come on, Joe. I mean, wake up, Joe. Wake up, Joe. Stop looking at dollars and cents and stop looking at preseason on reasons on why guys will get released. That was brought here because you need him. You need him. Okay? I mean, you want to talk shady talk afterwards, we can talk about, real quickly, would you or wouldn't you, and we can get into that later on when we come back as well. So we'll have that. We'll have Phillies Talk with Crawford, Rise Hoskins conversation, where Maikel Franco will end up. Hopefully on an island somewhere.
Back in the Dominican.
All that, much more. Tom,
Mike,
AM,
in the PM.
A2DRadio.com. We'll answer all your questions as well. Comments, read them out. This has been brought to you by Gibson Mayer LLC, our certified public accountant. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the worldwide leader of Real Talk, A2DRadio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, on a2dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2dradio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located at 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
A2dradio.com is proudly sponsored by Gibson Mayer, LLC Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Tom and Mike from AM and the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's gibsonmayer.com.
You're listening to Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, here on A2Dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2Dradio.com is sponsored by The Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, Certified Public Accountants, 215-369-3300, or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Welcome in to the worldwide leader of what? Real talk, A2Dradio.com.
Fellas, you ever come in from that baseball or football game and your woman won't come near you because you stink beyond belief? Then you need Soap Stash. You should never settle for a generic hygiene product that only covers up the stench. Treat your skin with the best nutrients. Feel clean with the only soap you'll need. The highest grade carrier oils are ingrained in all of their products, which are 100% natural and terrific for your skin. No sulfates, parabens, or phthalates, and synthetic fragrance free. Contact Soap Stash for your sample package and give your woman what she deserves. You can contact Soap Stash at 844-890-3197 or visit them on the web at soapstash.com or Facebook at Soapstash LLC. Once again, their number is 844-890-3197. Soap Stash, the new soap standard.
Get your skills in shape, then contact the Scanzano Sports Center, located at 5 Carnegie Plaza in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. You can give them a call at 856-889-3434 or visit them on the web at www.scanzanosports.com. John Scanzano offers individual, semi-private, and team training lessons in hitting, pitching, catching, outfield, along with turf rentals. The Scanzano Sports Center is equipped with a 31,000 square foot indoor facility, 4 batting cages, and a 4,000 square foot strengthening and conditioning room. So what are you waiting for? Contact the Scanzano Sports Center today.
A2DRadio.com is sponsored by the Sports Outlet for all your sporting needs. Located 703 Black Horse Pike in Glendora, New Jersey. Give them a call at 856-939-2030 or email them at sportsoutletnj@comcast.net or visit them on the web at www.sportsoutletinc.com for all your sporting needs. The Sports Outlet.
Tom and Mike, AM in the PM, is brought to you by Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. Gibson Mayer, located in Yardley, PA, is a leading accounting and business consulting firm with a proven track record of handling critical issues with expertise across many different industries, including construction, distribution, hospitality, manufacturing, real estate, service trades, merchandising, professional services, and professional athletes. Give them a call at 215-369-3300. That's 215-369-3300. Your initial consultation is always free, and if you tell them that Mike from Tom and Mike AM in the PM sent you, you'll receive 15% off all income tax services completed by February 15th. That's Gibson Mayer, LLC, certified public accountants. 215-369-3300. Or visit them on the web at www.gibsonmayer.com. That's www.gibsonmayer.com.
Tom Arnone, Big Mikey Smalls, Tom, Mike, AM, in the PM, only on A2DRadio.com. No Agenda Sports Talk, Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
HEDRadio.com. Tom Renault, Michael Maddock, Greg Milakovic, Rob Hilby on the ones and twos, live from the BMW of Atlantic City Studios. BMW right off exit 37 of the Parkway. Find them online, BMW of AtlanticCity.com. And every Wednesday night, we're brought to you by our certified public account. Make them yours. Find them on the web, GibsonMayer.com. That's GibsonMayer.com. We start off the show. Who wins the fight? The money fight. McGregor or Money May? And you can still let us know. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, ATD Radio is where you can find us. We all answered convincingly yes on Mayweather.
Yes.
We agree. All agree there. We'll move on. A lot of great comments that came in as well. So we talked Cavs, Celtics deal. Who won that deal? Well, I think we all differed in our opinions a little bit for the most part, but
I don't think any of us were like really outlandishly off, though.
No. Everybody had good points
solid arguments
on their sides. And then we'll take it into, we're going to talk Phillies talk and Eagles as they prepare for preseason. Not just any type of Phillies talk. The guy, essentially. The guy that we've been crying for 2 years to be up here playing at the big league level. Somebody I know I've called for a long stinking time. Just to be here, to see if he can play or not. To see if he learns at the big league level. See if the guy we thought he was. Right? And now he's going to hopefully get his chance playing a lot of third base at Lehigh Valley. Or
so I was going to say,
Crawford.
You allow me to frame that. So for those that don't necessarily follow the Phillies minor league teams, Lehigh Valley, we've talked about it on the show a number of times. J.P. Crawford went on the disabled list in early June, and since he's come off the disabled list, he's batted over 300. He's got a ton of extra base hits. He's only made one error at shortstop since he came off the DL. Basically took his entire season and flipped it. Went from a guy who was falling through the prospect lists, like with an anvil tied to his feet.
Because them guys are smart.
Yeah, because they're so smart. And now all of a sudden, it's like, oh, well, maybe we were wrong about Crawford. But what happens behind the scenes a lot of times at Lehigh Valley is guys will take balls during the day, before games, before the gates even open at other positions. Earlier in the summer, you had Scott Kingery taking balls at shortstop, third base, and in the outfield. You had Reese Hoskins taking balls at first base and left field, and then when he was called up, he essentially was called up as a left fielder. Well, within the past week, J.P. Crawford started taking balls at third base, and yeah, it is going to end. J.P. Crawford started taking balls at third base and looks so comfortable there that he's now tonight starting his fourth consecutive game as the Iron Pigs third baseman, and there's been no drop in his offensive production through these 4 games.
Yeah, it's not a hard switch.
And he's been flawless in the field.
Yeah, it's not a hard switch for him because it's all about, your shortstop has your best feet, period, on your baseball team.
Same side of the diamond, same look.
And the balls come off a little quicker, but at the end of the day, you don't have to go as far. And when you got quick feet, you don't have to go as far. You're gonna make the hard ones look easy.
And he's still got a great arm.
Yeah, it's like A-Rod going there. Not I'm not comparing him to A-Rod, but that move from a shortstop to third, and you can saw from a guy like him. It wasn't hard.
Same thing with Manny Machado.
I was going to say it's probably more comparable to Machado.
But same thing. It's
It's guys
the
who make
switch.
the move. Guys who make the move.
And it's almost, and I'm not trying to belittle the position, but it's almost an easier position to field. Coming from shortstop, because at third base the ball's either there or it's not.
Yeah, it's closer.
It's reactionary.
It's more exactly. It's more reactionary. One step and a dive either way. And you either have it or you don't.
Yep.
There's no guesswork. And let me try and get to the hole. No, the only ball you got to cut off is that chopper that's short that you got to make sure you cut off coming across the diamond.
And for a shortstop, that should be easy.
And it should be easy because his footwork, you're right. The shortstop should have the best footwork. It should be flawless.
And that's what I'm saying. When you only got to go one step one way, one step or the other, and you already have quick feet, it's an easy adjustment.
The hardest play for him to adapt to is going to be the bunt or the slow roller where he's got to come straight in, bare hand, and then come from underneath and make an accurate throw to first. And if he can master that, there's not a doubt in my mind that he could be a Gold Glove caliber third baseman.
Yeah, and there was some talk about Galvis playing a little third too.
Yeah.
So maybe that's even an option where I don't know.
Freddie's played third before.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an option where they're going to put him in different spots. In September where it just doesn't matter anyway, which doesn't matter right now, or it didn't matter 2 months ago or 3 months ago either. But put these guys in and let them play a little bit of both. I think that's what they're probably the direction they're going to go.
How much do you think this?
What do you think? No.
Oh, I do.
I think the move to third base was because you're not moving a guy like Freddie off of short, even if it is a game or two, because that's your guy. At least for this year, probably for next year, that's your guy at shortstop.
Freddie, okay, but JP's in your guy. Yeah, your guy at third. Okay, but
that's what I'm saying. So
they can keep him at the same spot. They can keep them both there. I'm fine with that.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to go
he's up.
All right, you're playing 2 games here, you're playing 2 games there. I think at least if Freddie's not your guy next year, he's going to be your guy this year. You're going to give him that.
Well, I think what's going to happen is you're going to see when Crawford comes up, because it's pretty much a guarantee now that he's going to come up. They're going to reward him for the second half that he had. But I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a game at short, a game at second, 2 games at third. Then maybe he sits a game. Then maybe he goes back to third, short, 2 games at second. They're going to move him all over the infield just to see if he has that versatility and he can handle the different positions. And I'm perfectly fine with that. And it's not because I don't believe in Caesar or Scott Kingery or even Freddie for that matter. But it goes back to the whole Matt Carpenter thing that we talked about at length like 2 months ago, is that when St. Louis was bringing up Matt Carpenter, he played everywhere. I mean, everywhere. He played third, second, short. Now he's their first baseman. And if Crawford can hit, and it's just a matter of finding a position to get his bat in the lineup every day, I'm all for it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the only thing I was saying is maybe they would swap short and third a couple times because some reports are coming out from the Phillies that Galvis is going to play a little third. Rewarding him as short is what it is, but, I think they're not taking him out of the lineup. He's still playing a position.
Right.
I don't think it's like a smack in the face. But Sweep said, "What's up, boys?"
What's up, Sweeps?
And he said, "You also got to make the charge play at third as well, a.k.a. Michael Jack."
That's what Mike, you were talking about.
I like the Michael Jack reference.
Yeah, absolutely. There's never a bad Michael Jack.
You got to read off the Michael Jack. Bob Hartman said, talking about Rhys Hoskins, 7 homers in his first 14. That's why you bring the goddamn kids up, like we've been saying since day one. I've been saying it nauseam for 2 years. And Bob Hartman said that 3-run homer he hit was a great at bat. Went down 0-2, worked a full count, fouled off a couple, then hit a bomb.
Where'd you hear that tonight?
Yeah, before we even came on.
Before we even came on the air.
And generated power without compressing his swing and bounce.
He watched.
Look at you, Bob.
He was
Look at
watching
you,
the
Bob.
broadcast.
I'm going to bring you in when I teach hitting lessons, Bobby. Bring you in.
The thing that I love about this kid is, like, he's seeing like 5 to 6 pitches per at bat.
Yeah, boy.
He's not the rookie that comes up like and thinks that he just needs to hack to stay in the show.
Yeah, it almost reminds me of Jason Worth.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like the fact that he's comfortable hitting with 2 strikes. He's comfortable in any type of account.
Yep.
And Bob was spot on. Fouled off a couple pitches, got a pitch that he was able to finally get a barrel on, and boy did he barrel it.
Yeah, and I think to what Bob was saying about him, his power without compressing his swing and balance is spot on because everything's tight and compact. You know what I mean? Nothing's long. Feet aren't moving too much. Nothing's moving too much. It's smooth through the zone, the hips. Everything's just smooth with the guy. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's like, he can hit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Well, the thing that I like about him is that you will see every now and then one pitch, maybe a breaking ball, where he'll get a little long.
Yeah.
Or he'll try to check and he just can't. But the adjustment doesn't happen in the next at bat. It happens in the next pitch.
Yeah.
Like he's just a good, solid professional hitter, and he's a guy.
He's not Dominic Brown to the people out there, okay? He's not a guy who got hot and is a crump, okay? No. Hoskins took a while to get to the show, a little too long, in my opinion, and Tommy Joseph hurt that for just being ahead of him in the system. But it's time to go, Tommy, one. And this kid, everything about him doesn't equal long slumps.
No.
You know what I mean? His swing doesn't equal a long slump to me.
Well,
everything he does, it just, I don't know.
Even
like you said, professional hitter. He's like Matt Stairs' little baby.
And I think the thing with him is I think to me, he's the new style power hitter who's not going to hit 245 to 250 with 50 bombs, but he's going to hit 285 to 290 with 35 bombs. And I'm perfectly fine with that because that's going to lead to a lot of wins down the road.
And, and it's something we talked about a couple weeks ago or last week. Even when he first came up and he went through that 0 for stretch.
Right.
We talked. There was never bad at bats in that.
Right.
It wasn't like he was pressing. It wasn't like he was, oh my God, I'm in the show. I don't know what to do. No, he just got snake bitten a little bit. It was like, all right, this is new to me. First game out, I'm facing Jacob deGrom. I faced better fastballs, changeup, curveball in the minors, but never all from the same guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but he always had good at bats. He just never, until his first hit, obviously, never broke through. And then, of course, now that he's popped that cherry, he's going on a tear.
Yeah, no, and Bob Hartman also chimes in. Franco and Odubel, you can see when they're swinging for the fence, but Hoskins is so fluent and smooth.
Every swing's the same.
Now, this is this is a misconception that I think players have, and I buy into it a little bit, but not a lot. Like, okay, we talk about 2-0, 3-1 counts. Pitches we're looking, if we have a green light, 3-0 essentially, but 2-0, 3-1. Pitches like that where guys want to hunt something, and they're hunting a pitch in their zone. I never thought that needed to be a pitch where I swing out of my goddamn shoes for. I just thought that needed to be a pitch that I put my best swing on. And my best swing doesn't mean, in terms of Franco, my head flying the hell out of Citizens Bank Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my helmet flying off and going up into the 500 goddamn level. But for Herrera, I don't, I just think he takes strong hacks, period. I don't have a problem with his balance or where his head's at. I mean, I don't think there's a more balanced hitter on the team, really. I mean, if you look at everything Odubel does pre-swing is tough to do. And to be able to hit like he hits, I have no problem with how he hits. Yeah. But I think some guys are conditioned to believe in them counts, I got to swing, my helmet's got to fly, and I got to be trying to hit a ball out of the ballpark. And said, hey, how about I just hit a goddamn double right here?
Right.
How about I just zone up something where I'm aiming right center, left center, and go to work a little bit, and aim a little center, aim a little pitcher's goddamn forehead.
If only Maikel could.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Talking a little bit about.
Oh, what up, Sean Spielman?
There you go.
Sorry.
No, it's all right. Talking a little bit about tonight. So your 3-4 hitters were Nick Williams and Rhys Hoskins. Nick Williams went 2 for 4 with a double, a walk, 3 runs scored. And your 4 hitter, Rhys Hoskins, went 2 for 3 with a walk. His 2 were a double and a homer, and he knocked in 5. So on the season now, he's hitting .271, 48 at-bats, okay? Let's just take that 0 for 11 away for a second. So if he dropped that 48 at-bats down to 37 at-bats, all of a sudden he's a .412 hitter.
Right.
So he's .271, 7 homers, 16 RBIs. His OPS is a whopping 1.136. These are sick numbers.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Take the 0 for 11 away, but we saw we saw with Odubel. No, but I'm saying we saw with Odubel and even some of the other guys. They're going to go through stretches where even at a major league level, he's going to go 0 for 12, 0 for 11. Well, it just you're right. Just the short sample size though.
We'll stick with that for a minute though, because let's go with Odubel and the guy we were talking about originally, J.P. Crawford. Odubel raised his batting average, 65 points in 2 months?
Pretty freaking hard to
do.
J.P. Crawford went from 191 to 243, which is 52 points in 7 weeks.
That groin seemed to be an issue, too.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Freaking Wilson.
The fact that these guys are raising their batting average that much in that short of a period of time, I mean, obviously you got some guys on this, on this team and in this organization that can hit the ball.
Yeah. Sweep says the order of greatness at a hitter goes making a judgment pitch by pitch, then at bat to at bat, then game to game, then every week, then never. LOL.
Yeah. And that's why those guys in the bigs, the good hitters, are the good hitters.
Yeah.
Because to his point, they don't wait for the next at bat. And to Mikey's point, it's next pitch.
Yeah. Yeah. What am I thinking? What am I getting? Educated guess.
Yeah.
Educated guesses at times. Just different things. But I think the biggest thing is staying inside who you are and what your swing is. And that goes from bottom feet up to the top. You know what I mean? Why on one pitch is my head going to be down and I'm going to put a good swing on it, and then a 3-1 where I'm trying to drive a ball, everything's got to fly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's where you differentiate between the great hitters and just guys.
Yeah.
And that's my opinion. Because I think the greats just stay inside of what they do. Trouty's swing doesn't change. Trouty's head doesn't change. Even Harper. Harper might take a little harder of a hack, but nothing really changes with these guys. And I think that's the difference from a guy like Franco, who ends up being just a guy at the end of the day, who's slop and hasn't made any adjustments.
I want to do something with you guys real quick. Just looking at tonight's starting lineup for the Phillies, okay? Cesar Hernandez, 285. Freddie Galvis, 253, 15 bombs, Gold Glove caliber, shortstop. Nick Williams, 289. Rhys Hoskins, 271 with 7 bombs in 14 games.
And Williams is impressive because he kept his numbers where, you know what I mean? Yeah. He stayed up.
Right.
He hasn't had a big slump.
So let me just drop a little bit. Pedro Florimon has come up, pretty much an unknown, 429. Jorge Alfaro, 324. Gee, who in that lineup did I not mention? Could it be Maikel Franco at 222 and Tommy Joseph at 241? I mean, I get that between them, they have almost 40 homers. Giancarlo Stanton himself has 46. So I can't accept 241 and 222 if you're not bombing the hell out of the ball. And if there's guys in the organization that are waiting to take those spots, they shouldn't be waiting any longer than September 4th.
Oh, they're coming up. Yeah, absolutely. But you brought up Trout, right?
Uh-huh.
And how his swing doesn't change. I saw somewhere they put up dots for his thousands hit or his 2,000 hits, right? And it is all fields. And the comment was, after 3,000 hits, you're not going to see a green spot on the field because he uses the entire field.
The entire field, right.
You know? And it's, you're dead on, like, even Hoskins has no problem driving the ball to the right side.
No, nothing changes.
Nothing changes. It's just where he's catching the ball.
Yeah, it's simple when you do a tee. You know what I mean? And you put the tee deeper into the zone. Right on the outside, taking the time to take a ball the other way. And then the tee works its way up a little bit throughout the zone, and you work your simple tee work. And he starts there. And I'm not saying Franco doesn't do it, but I guarantee, I don't know.
Franco doesn't do it.
No.
Franco's got to go.
Franco's got to go. No question about that. Zeke says 58 and 104.
He ain't wrong.
Yeah.
And Christian Carroll, we need to take another top pitcher in the draft next year, Bob. And replying to Bob Hartman, who was saying, the team's becoming exciting and interesting again with a lot of these kids up, but the staff worries him. Mm-hmm. And I said, yeah, Nola and Sixto's got to be coming up soon. Sooner than later, Greg.
He's probably a year and a half away.
Oh, shit. Screw a year and a half. Can we make him ready by this time next year?
We could try.
Because at the end of the day, how many bullets you got in the gun anyway?
Yeah.
How many bullets? If you can throw, you can throw. Let's go. It's the same process. I just think, okay, what's he do? Something a little awful? We'll learn from the big league.
No, hold on a second. Let's back up the train, because what is your biggest frustration with Phillies starting pitchers? They don't command the strike zone. Sixto throws 104, but he doesn't command the strike zone. When he learns to command the strike zone, then yeah, by all means, bring him up. But until his strikeout to walk ratio improves, you got to let him work through it. I mean, the guy, God believe me, the guy throws 104. I'd want to see him tomorrow. But he's probably going to walk 10 guys, and we can't have that.
Yeah, well, you just get excited when you don't have that.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. But what was it Bob's point? The rotation, I mean, you're probably going to see another veteran or two in the rotation next year.
Yeah, well, I was thinking that. They're going to have to.
Because as much as I want to ride and die with, like, the young kids and Pivetta and Lively and in the rotation.
It's a long season.
It's a long season.
Right.
Pivetta has shown flashes of getting it, and then you see last night.
If Pivetta could figure it out, he could be a dominant starter because he's got amazing stuff.
Yeah, and the only way to get him to that point, guys, is by just riding it out too. Where you don't bring in the veterans and you ride out the kids and you see what you got again. You see if they learn. They make their own adjustments. They learn from other
they need
guys.
Someone to learn from too, though.
Christian Carroll says Kumar Rocker looks good, but he's a high schooler draft-wise. I don't know anything about him yet. I will. Bob Hartman said that 10-game stretch with Nola was impressive. And it was nice to see him bounce back yesterday, minus that last inning before he was pulled. Well, Nola's your ace.
Yeah.
And that's what he was supposed to be, and now you build around him.
I honestly,
build around him.
I don't want to make an excuse for the kid, but when I watched Nola yesterday, the last part of that, I think he just got gassed. I mean, it was a 4:00 game. He's throwing the first game of a doubleheader. And for me personally, right there, that's on McCannon. Because if you have a kid that you're bringing back from the minors versus a guy who's the mainstay of your rotation, the kid from the minors starts game 1, your ace starts game 2. Like you said, baseball players are a creature of habit.
No question.
Unless Nola specifically went to him and said, I want game 1, Nola should have been starting the game that starts under the lights.
Always.
So I put that on McCannon.
That's 1 + 1.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it is. But that said, I mean, it's, 94 degrees yesterday, heat index up over 100, and he's out there going into the 7th. Sure, the pitch count was low, but you could see that
Yeah.
Like there was just no gas left in the tank.
Typical
Yeah,
Pete.
but and you're right. Who would you rather trust, though? Would you rather trust even a tiring Nola
Or Adam Morgan? No, I
or
hear you.
Anybody in the bullpen?
No, I hear you. I totally get it.
Sean Spielman's not happy with Franco either. But he also says, and where did you get the Eagles emblem like all those fans feel? What does that mean? That thing looks sick. What emblem? What
Maybe he's talking about
That?
the super hat.
Yeah. I'm surprised he even commented on anything Eagles. I thought he was going to tell us to burn it down. Burn this bitch to the ground, Pookie. White Castle.
Tell him to take some
Like little flavor crystals pop in your mouth.
take some capsaicin to Odell and maybe take a knee and say a prayer with him.
And then he said, Noah, Sean Spielman also, Noah can be a stud. Phillies need to bring in Schilling to teach him or talk baseball with him, not politics, baseball. Kid's got potential. I don't know. She'll talks a lot. She'll just talk about the bloody glove or something for too goddamn long.
Shill just talks to hear himself talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Top step Shill.
He loves to hear himself, though. You're right. You're right. All right, so that's it for the Phils.
Yeah.
And you got anything else Phils related? I didn't think so, boys. Thought that wrapped it. So Eagles go into the preseason game 3, which is the showcase.
The dress rehearsal.
The old dress rehearse.
Did they do a rehearsal dinner afterwards?
They might.
Let me ask you guys a
Business
question.
casual.
Now. I mean, thinking about this
Tip your waiters.
we'll be here all week. With the third preseason game being the showcase game. Now, and obviously I have no knowledge of the inner workings of the organization or whatnot, but would you have
say you do, though.
I mean, I
why
do.
are you here then?
Nah,
I we thought you did.
That's why you're freaking here.
You'll see the point I'm
So
going
this
to.
hat was official.
Well, it is. Would you rather have seen them have the quote-unquote scrimmage practices with Buffalo going into week 2 and having this Miami game week 3 be like an actual true like prep week where you're not practicing against these guys that you're going to see on the field, in 2 days? Because I feel like most of what will take place in this game on Thursday night, these two teams have seen out of each other Monday and Tuesday.
Sure.
So it just becomes a glorified scrimmage. Now, sure, you're going to have the starters going into the third quarter because you have to have them come back after halftime. I just question whether it was the smartest move to scrimmage these guys as opposed to trying to get Buffalo in here.
It makes sense. You could have switched it up, I guess, because they feel like they're in town. It makes it easier, and you just play against each other.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what I'm
I
saying.
also
like,
think it
Buffalo being here last week.
Yeah, and playing.
Would have been the same scenario, just a week sooner in the preseason. I just feel like using week 3 as your quote-unquote joint practice and scrimmage week takes away from your prep for what you really want to do in a game.
That's Doug's fault. Yeah. That's Doug's fault, and Doug sucks. No,
no, I don't know, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
I don't know if that's Doug or not.
I get it. And I think so, but maybe like Doug did say about like the whole Blunt thing and how you're not necessarily game planning these games.
No, you're not. It's vanilla.
But maybe to counter that, maybe they are game planning for this one inside.
They might be.
To see, all right, can you guys, now that this is the dress rehearsal, can you guys implement a game plan?
Yeah, can you execute?
Can you execute a game plan now?
Yeah.
But fair point. But what I'm saying is, can you really execute a game plan when your opposition has seen everything that you're going to throw at them earlier in the week?
Yeah, but I mean, I think the practice they're not throwing everything.
I think it's all vanilla.
I just think it's. Here's your go route. You know what I mean? And I'm sure you're doing a little bit more than that, but
no, I hear what you're saying.
You're not running your second one sleeps for a -5 loss.
No, I got you.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, maybe it's just me with a personal preference. I would rather have seen it be either, Buffalo coming in before the second game or even the Birds going up to New York and working out with the Jets before the last game. It's just that, for me, that third preseason game
why would you want them in here?
Is too important to have the joint practices.
Well, you know what?
Maybe
Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it makes it harder, right? It makes it harder So now can you implement stuff when guys have seen you run some routes and,
Right.
and see some of your tendencies? Now can you execute?
Now that you've got stuff on film, maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now, they know what you're going to do. Okay, can you execute?
like a normal week.
Yeah. So
guys,
you know,
All right.
Sean
I
Spielman.
can see it from that angle.
Sean Spielman. Now Eagles certain radio station had Chubby's because Adam Pencilneck, Geek Schefter picked the Eagles to win division. Let's face it, it's Giants to lose and put green boners away. Defense wins.
It's Giants to lose.
Have you seen Derek Barnett rush the passer? Have you seen Derek Barnett rush
you
the
have
passer?
no offensive line, no running game, an aging quarterback, an injured superstar wide receiver, another wide receiver who's going to bitch and moan when he doesn't get the ball, and your defense overachieved last year. Next question.
Next question. I'm good there. Christian Carroll. So I heard this morning the Eagles have an offensive lineman that has been impressing named Victor Salako.
Salamalo.
Salamo.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I think it would
And then
be.
they said that's why they traded Tobin. Yeah.
Who?
And that's why they traded Tobin. Yeah, oh, yeah, turnstile.
Well, that and the guy that you actually kind of like identified last year a little bit as a guy to watch down the road is now sort of their guide. It's Dylan Gordon, because they really think that if they're going to have Vitae backing up Lane Johnson on the right side. Obviously, if they ever had, if Peters was ever going to be out for an extended period, they'd swing Lane over and Vitae would play the right side.
Yeah.
But they're real comfortable game over game with Dylan Gordon as their backup at left tackle. And if that's the case, and he can learn and be groomed by Peters,
I would rather not move Lane
Yeah.
if I don't have to.
Exactly.
You know, keep Lane where he's comfortable. Bob Hartman, did you guys see Lane's Players Tribune article?
I did.
And, yep, I did. We posted about it on our socials at A2D. But, yeah, I like it, man. Confidence, but stay on the field. But I love the confidence. How can you not? Let's go. Let's go.
Some fluff and some ass kissing in there, but yeah, confidence.
Of course.
But you know, and there's nothing wrong with it, but what else are you going to say?
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Coming into the season, that should be your mindset.
Yeah.
You know, if it's not, then we have an issue.
Yeah, but I like that. You know,
absolutely.
You want him to be a leader
And you want and
be on the football field.
And to Colin Cowherd, you know, who also picked the Eagles.
Yeah,
you know,
two
to
guys
his
that are
point-
right. Yep.
To his point,
Because I'm picking them too.
when he was on the field, they won. Plain and simple.
Yeah.
When he's on the field, they won.
Well, it's confidence too. It's confidence playing with the guy next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that matters big time. We're talking about
Especially
offensive
in
lineman.
this game.
Yeah, an offensive lineman, no question. Bob Hartman says Foles out again. Concerned at all?
Oh,
Just in terms of the backup?
big time.
Well, yeah, because Matt McGloin stinks.
Thanks. Yep.
Yeah.
We can
And,
agree
and
on
not that anyone ever had any misconceptions that he was ever good.
Yeah, or that
But-
Foles was that good, but he's a solid backup
But
for a guy who started enough.
he at least showed some competency out in Oakland to where you were like, when you signed him, you were like, oh, this is a good 2-3 guy that if you had to go into a game with him, you were okay with. Now, I don't, you know, maybe it's just a case of he's just playing too much.
See, I can actually see a scenario where Dane Evans goes to the practice squad, Foles goes to IR, McGloin gets cut, and they wind up making a trade for a backup quarterback. Now don't ask me to give you a name because you got to kind of wait to see who gets released by other teams, and there will be some name guys out there. I would love, and I know I'll get shot for saying this, but I would absolutely love if Mark Fitzpatrick was suddenly available, because you know what?
You mean Ryan
Or,
Fitzpatrick?
I'm sorry, yeah, Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah,
Down in
yeah,
in Tampa Bay.
yeah. I would love it if Ryan Fitzpatrick became available, because you know what? I'll take the guy who got a 1580 on his SAT and aced the Wonderlic and graduated from Harvard, and I'll gladly have him come in and tutor my second overall, pick from last year.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, here's to that point, and what about? I mean, Brock Osweiler would be a guy. If we're thinking about obviously just second or third string, Deshaun Kaiser starting this next game. Reports were today, and Osweiler is not there.
Is Osweiler going to be a guy who would come in here and pout because he wasn't playing?
I don't think so. But
I think so.
I'm looking, and he might. But I'm looking at a guy who could potentially learn from Doug.
Well, guess what?
And
I'm going to look at it. Can I tell you? I'm going to look at it. I don't give a rat's ass who the second guy is.
Well,
if you get there it's over anyway.
I agree with you.
All right?
I agree with you.
True story.
It's all on Carson.
But, you're absolutely right. But at some
But
point,
Foles is still in the building. It's not like he's not in the building.
Yeah.
But he's hurt. I get it. But he's
Yeah.
still in the meetings. He's still around. It's not like he died. Like, he didn't die and get hurt. He's still around. It's not like a video game like, oh, when you play, he's not there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's there.
So
he's
let-
around. So,
let-
I mean,
let
I'm
me
okay.
let me ask you: would you ring, 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 ring? Colin Kaepernick.
No.
Okay. I knew what your answer was going to be to that. Well, let me go to another one. Ring, 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 ring. Michael Vick.
I mean, I would ring Vic, but I don't find the need. I don't need to ring anybody.
Yeah,
I don't need to find the ring because if he goes down, we're in trouble anyway.
Right.
So you'd rather just keep McGloin?
I'll just go with what we got.
If Foles has to go on IR.
Yeah, and especially at this point of the year, you're so close. You know what I mean? At least like whatever. If it came down to McGloin having to play a game, at least he knows the offense. You know, and I'm not saying I wouldn't. Like Vic hasn't been working out to play. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
whatever about Cap. I'm not taking him.
The one interesting thing.
What was I going to say? No, go ahead.
Since you brought up Cap, Blake Bortles stinks. You're telling me he's not better than any of those quarterbacks on Jacksonville's team?
No, he is.
He is.
You know what I mean? Like
that's.
And they stink, Jacksonville. I think Cap would actually fit that system and actually make them a better team.
All right, well, I don't make that decision.
No, you're absolutely right. But, you look at the overall big picture
Right,
of the scenario.
But you want to go big picture, I'll give you the plus and the minus. The plus is that Jacksonville is nowhere near a major market.
Mm-hmm.
The minus is that it's the deep south.
Yeah. Yeah, but Florida's not really. But it's Florida. You're not really in the south there. Once you cross Florida, you're Florida.
No,
you're in a whole different world.
Hold on, no, don't. Let's not get it twisted here. Jacksonville is
I know
north
where Jacksonville
Florida.
is.
You might as well still be in Georgia.
Yeah.
I don't consider Florida not the South until you at least hit Orlando.
Fair point.
Okay. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just putting it out there. Like I feel like him going to a Southern team would be like you say, the circus. Oh yeah. Because I mean, whether anybody wants to acknowledge it or not, racism in this country is still a huge problem, and down south it's worse.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
No, it's true. I don't. Is he better than guys? Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
I mean, would he be better than the guys on the roster in Jacksonville? Yeah. But when you talk about the Eagles, and the Eagles need to back up.
Oh, there's.
I'm not even. I don't even concern myself with it at this point because Wentz is your guy. If he gets hurt, you're in trouble regardless.
You're done, yeah.
Nobody out there is going to take you to where you want to go at the end of the day. So I don't even concern myself with it. I look and shifted to this real quick in terms of a running back, a certain guy that's been talked about around town a little bit. And if I'm Howie Roseman, I would have made some calls by now, and that's LaShawn McCoy. And Buffalo trying to dump right now and shake and move a little bit. Are you interested? And what would you give up?
Well, I think that's the thing. Initially, my thought was if it's not a 1, they're not trading Shady, and I'm not giving up a 1 to get him back. Now that he's been gone, the talent of the guy alone, I would bring back absolutely. But you start to hear things out of Buffalo that he's not obviously the best teammate, this and that. So do I want that guy in my locker room? That's a different scenario. But talent alone, I'm not giving up a 1, but I'd entertain it for sure.
We're not talking it, Bob. Relax. It was just would you? It was a quick one. Would you entertain it? Would you make the phone call? Does he make you a better football team?
Sure.
Yeah, no question about it. But
well, let me ask you. Let me put it to you a different way. Take the name out of it for a second. Take the name out of it. Take the history in Philadelphia out of it. What's the going rate in the NFL for a 29-year-old running back who's been in the league for 8 years?
Yeah,
it's a third rounder. Maybe a second, maybe a fourth. Probably in Shady's case, it's probably a third into a second because he's still real productive. But I don't know that I'm giving up a second.
And we don't have a third, so it's got to be a second or at least a fourth.
Yeah, or you're packaging multiple picks, which I don't necessarily want to do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the guy.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
I just don't know that you're kicking the tires on a 29-year-old running back that's going to cost you. I mean, because you went out and you got LeGarrette Blount. Similar scenario. You're not really paying him a whole lot. He was a free agent, so you didn't give up anything to bring him in. What you're going to have to give up to bring Shady back is probably going to set you back down the road.
Because now you're right. Because now you got to fit that under the cap.
Yep, that's what Bob was just saying, too.
They could fit it under the cap this year.
And what picks are you giving away, too?
It becomes – the cap issue becomes next year, and then, again, what are you losing by not having those picks?
Yeah. And it's
can you not re-sign Alshon? Like, can you not do these
and
things?
it puts you in, like, a win-now mentality with a second-year quarterback, which isn't necessary.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? To go out. You got LeGarrette Blount, like Mike said. Yeah, you have running backs. You drafted some running backs. You know, you also have Sproles, too. So, I mean – you have backs. It's not a necessity right now.
Yeah.
It creates a logjam, which puts us into this quick conversation. And Bob asked this one, what's your final depth chart in terms of running backs? How many are you keeping? 4, right? I mean, you think you keep 4?
Yeah. I mean,
one practice squad guy? You try to throw one out there?
I'm trying to stash Clement on the practice squad.
And I don't think he'd make it.
I don't think so either, but I think thinking about it logically, I mean, obviously, you're keeping Blount.
Yep.
You're keeping Sproles.
Yeah.
You're keeping Pumphrey because you drafted him basically to be Sproles' understudy.
You're keeping Smallwood.
So then it comes down to
it comes
down to Smallwood, a guy that you drafted, who apparently has all the tools if he can just stay healthy, and Corey Clement, a guy that you didn't draft, you signed as an undrafted free agent, who also has all the tools if he can stay healthy. He just happens to be the one who's healthier now.
Is Smallwood eligible for practice squad?
No.
Not anymore?
Not.
Because he played too much last year?
Is Clement that valuable?
Well, I just think if you put him up to the rest of the league, he's put enough good tape on there that someone's going to take him.
Well, any one of them would. One of them. You put Wendell on there, somebody's if you could, somebody's grabbing him in a second.
But
you got to do it, or you keep 5, and you got to make an adjustment somewhere else.
See,
and I don't know where that's coming from.
Now, here's what I try to do personally.
Yeah, I don't know where it's coming.
What I would do, and it's a little on the shady side, no pun intended, is I'd be looking to keep Blount, Sproles, Smallwood, and Clement, and I'd be trying to stash Pumphrey on IR for a year with a high ankle sprain or a separated shoulder or something like that, where he could show up every day and practice and learn from Sproles, the guy who he's supposed to be replacing.
And get in the weight room.
Yeah, exactly. Get in the weight room, bulk up, rehab, so that next year, instead of him being 5'7", 175, he's 5'7", 195, and he's ready to take on that Sproles role.
And he's built like a brick shit
Yeah,
house.
and you don't lose either Smallwood or Clement.
Yeah.
Yep, I mean, that's a way. That's a way, but that's the thing, do you need Clement that much? I mean, you really don't.
Well, see, my mind's going because I know where you stand on this because you're getting ready to explode on somebody. But why does Blount make the team? Right? And I'm not basing off of preseason, so I'm not an uneducated football guy. But when they initially signed him, I did a double take and I said, what's the purpose of Blount? Not necessarily signing a running back, but Blount, a bigger guy. Not that you necessarily needed it because it didn't necessarily fit the system, right? And yes, it was a cast off from Bill, so that's and I'm not basing everything off of that.
Well, but here's the thing: what was their problem? What was their biggest problem last year in the running game? They couldn't pick up short yardage. That's what he's here for.
Okay, but you got guys now in there, and again, they're rookies, and Clement has shown that he's able to go through that, and Blount has struggled. I'm not getting ready to throw him off the pool right now.
Yeah, but why is he the guy though? Over Corey freaking Clement? Over Corey Clement, we're cutting a guy who we know what he can do. We know his production. We know how he can handle an NFL season. No, it's not again. It's simple.
But it's LeGarrette Blount. It's not like it's a top guy.
And it's goddamn Corey Clement.
Granted.
It's a guy who can rush for 12 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Compared to a guy who's an unknown. and you have Smallwood and Sproles and Pumphrey. So what is, why would I, just to play the other side, why would I keep Corey Clement? What has he done so well on tape that I'm like, against second and third goddamn stringers, that he makes a team over a guy who you know what he is, and over a vet, right?
I agree with that.
So, I mean, that's what drove me crazy when you even talk, when people, not you, when certain media people like Joe DeCamara and some other, what's the nice way to say it, morons, were talking about cutting him.
Yeah, I mean,
I understand the rationale of where you're trying to say.
That.
I get the rationale, but the act of Corey Clement's a goddamn game changer. That's the only time I take a chance there. Why am I going to take a risk there? You know what I mean? If he's done that much, and we'll see. Well, I mean, maybe we'll see a little tomorrow night too.
Right.
If he does that much to say, hey, I'm better. I got a better burst the whole nine. And I think whatever Legarrette point you get tomorrow with an offensive line that should be intact.
Sure.
Okay, I think you'll get a better version of him as well.
And again, I'm not basing things off of preseason because let's be honest, I barely watched the first team in the preseason, right?
Well,
but it's when they it was my initial reaction when they first signed him. It was just like, that's an odd signing, not the running back signing itself, but that particular running back.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah, they need medical proof, Christian, about stashing players if they're not really hurt.
And I'll take the body of work with Legarrette.
Yeah.
I mean, what last year, 1,200 yards and 18 touchdowns or something like that?
God damn it, Greg. And twice on Sunday. Don't fall into the trap.
No, there was no trap.
Of the slop shit that goes on out there and the things that get tossed around.
You actually think I listen to that slop
No,
trash?
I don't listen to it. Sometimes things just fall in my lap. I put it on for the first time in like 6 months, dude, really. But maybe even 8. And I just like, I'll put it on for a minute.
I cringed.
And it was the first thing I heard, and I said, this is exactly why I don't come here. It's exactly why.
Well, I was listening to Phillies, so same scenario. I pop on this morning, and they're talking about Fitzpatrick. And I'm like, why am I listening? Let's go. Back to country.
Bob says Deuce apparently loves Clement. So, but I'm sure Deuce loves Legarrette, too.
Possibly.
So maybe Smallwood's the odd man out.
Possibly.
Okay.
Well, and then the other,
it's one of them two,
right? And
or Pumphrey.
The other
or
thing is though, and if we have and if you really have to have the running back depth, you still got Byron Marshall that you can actually get on the practice squad, who showed a lot in a couple of games last year.
Yeah.
True. So
I mean, Corey Clement would have been drafted, except for, as Mike alluded, the injury. He was hurt his junior year, had a great senior year. He sat behind one of the top rushers in his sophomore year. So there's a body of work, but that junior year injury killed him.
Oh, it did.
All
right, well, we're going to run out of here, 11:35. Get on out. Let people go to goddamn sleep and all that good stuff.
Although before we go, I got to just toss one more thing out there on the Rich Hill game tonight. Everybody, if you get a chance, go to the Worldwide Leader of Horseshit or CSN Philly or whatever. There's a highlight. Chase Utley apparently made an absolutely unbelievable defensive play to preserve the perfect game before it went to a no-hitter and into a walk-off. So, those of you who are still in love with the man, as I am, as we are, well, Rob's not, but that's another story. Definitely go check out this play.
I'm sure we'll get that up soon.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, boys. It's been a pleasure again. I'd like to thank Gibson Mayer LLC for sponsoring us every Wednesday night. Our certified public account, make them yours. Find them on the web, gibsonmayer.com. Soap Stash, the new soap standard. Find them on the web, soapstash.com. Scanzano Sports, Sports Outlet Inc., Stream Smart Vinny. Who the hell am I missing?
BMW Atlantic City.
Yeah, BMW Atlantic City, if you're even into that kind of thing.
Buy a car.
For Tom Arnone, Michael Mataraki, Greg Milakovic, Rob Hogan on the ones and twos. Another edition of Tom.
Mike.
AM.
In the PM.
A2D Radio. See you next week. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Go, Money.
We out. No agenda, goddamn radio.